welcome to Edo's Catch Up, the only show. I'm Will.
I'm Josh.
And on today's show, you can live.
And Blue's Clues No Way Home?
Oh, cool. Speaking of news, we've got all of that news in a bit, but first, anything happening?
I do have a story.
Ooh,
I do have a
time.
story. It was a thing that happened yesterday.
This is what was it? Etold. This is an Etold segment. An Etold. You're telling a story.
I like it. Yeah,
this is where it fits in.
It's different type.
Yeah.
Type. So on my way back from church yesterday, just like went out, got some lunch afterwards, walked across to to Flinders Street Station. I had to put like my guitar down and stuff. I think I was like rearranging my bag and things to grab my key card out to get the train home, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly there was just all this like yelling and kind of gasping from pedestrians and stuff.
But I was at home.
What is happening? Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't you this time.
Don't know what it would be.
There was a bunch of cyclists riding down Flinders Street. All very naked. Hundreds. That is like maybe 10?
Who's this one?
Yeah, so there were...
What's that about?
Some women were wearing bra and underwear.
Yeah, fair.
A lot weren't.
Yeah. Weird that you would not.
But yeah, so
like
there were some that were, being a little bit more modest. But otherwise, hundreds, like literally, we can see 10 in this photo.
Yeah.
This is from the pastor of my church. Took this photo and sent it. Probably why he chose one of a woman fully clothed to then post online. It was very weird.
So
and
you saw this happen as well?
Yeah.
Why take a photo?
That was all that... I don't know.
I would have taken a goddamn photo.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I want to be looking at this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wang.
Yeah.
It was something.
Yeah.
It was very funny. The woman, like one of the women right at the start just yelled something like, it's Melbourne's nude biking festival or something as she was riding past and like they were all cheering and stuff, but it just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we get stuck in like a protest, you can't get past because there's so many protesters. It was like that.
Far out.
Hundreds of naked people riding through Melbourne.
I'll have to put it in my calendar because all the apps haven't worked. So at least this is like it's like if you don't like me clothed, maybe this is the only way I'm going to get someone. Someone's going to like everything about me. And so this is the only way I can present it to the world.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way. Maybe that is the way.
It's only a small one. I don't think it'll be a small news though. It's going to be a chunky one.
Some snooze.
Yes. That. I'm going to kick things off with a little bit of living. This was the joke of the living thing.
Okay.
I didn't plan it.
Okay.
I forgot that we do that bit. So that's why my bit was living.
Okay, good.
I didn't have anything. But this is Story Living by Disney. So this is the thing that was announced last week.
Yes.
Where
I saw, but I know nothing.
Yeah.
I avoided.
It's a very Disney thing.
Yes.
It's basically like, do you want to live the closest... It's weird because you're not living as an employee. You're not like living in Disneyland where it's all cool and like fanciful. You're just living in a housing estate built by Disney. That's really all this boils down to.
And that's what Epcot was meant to be, right?
Yeah. Well, that was
like the OG.
Yeah. Well, that was like the thing
Walt
of
was
tomorrow
trying to do.
kind of thing. Yeah. We'll get to their failed attempts because there's been many. So this is just a new version of it. This will be a 1,900 housing unit estate named Cotino. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't particularly know why. And it's all built in the city of Rancho Mirage, which is quite a cool place.
Okay.
In California's Coachella Valley, which is where Walt Disney used to own a holiday home. And now, very Disney, he owns it all.
Just the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is it actually where Coachella is? Did you see?
I didn't look that up.
Okay.
I don't know much about Coachella.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It's a big music festival.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of the ones that like all the huge influencers and stuff go to. I think you need to be invited and so it's
Shivers, yeah, right.
It's something like that maybe, or like maybe you can go, it's super expensive, but a lot of the top influencers and stuff kind of go. It's like, it's
I'm sure it's a thing.
There we go. It's like a big fashion and music festival.
Just a culture
and stuff.
thing.
Yeah, totally.
Disney customers trained in the company's legendary guest service will operate throughout the estate. So it's kind of like you're living in like a old person's place. There's just people that are going to help you everywhere that are like the Disney cast members that live on campus of actual Disneylands. Through a club membership, because of course there's an additional cost to just buying a house. There will be curated experiences such as wellness programming, entertainment ranging from live performances to cooking classes, but also philanthropic endeavors, seminars, and much more. Those last two are a little bit fucking boring.
Yeah.
What is this
Seminars
place?
and philanthropy.
Yeah.
I would assume if you're living here, you're probably pretty
so why do you need help?
philanthropic, right? Yeah, you're probably pretty damn rich.
This is the most Disney part about all the news that kind of came out of this, which is the community is expected to surround an approximately 24-acre grand oasis featuring clear turquoise waters with crystal lagoon technology trademark. The words crystal lagoon is trademarked. Just thought they were words.
I don't like that it's crystal lagoon technology. Like a lagoon is very natural.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing. This tech allows for sustainability with low water consumption and using a minimum amount of additive and energy, which is pretty cool. Okay. So it's built from nothing, but will be better than carving out a real lagoon to put houses on. Basically,
yeah. Interesting.
Which is cool.
Okay.
Cotonino will welcome homeowners of all ages. No, like 50 plus. Who the fuck is buying a house of all ages in this place? And will include at least one section expressly for the oldies, 55 plus residents. Home buyers have a range of home types to choose from, including estates, single family homes, and condominiums. I find it crazy.
Condominiums.
Yeah, that's the word I decided to nail.
I'd almost never heard that word other than hearing it 3 times in No Way Home.
Yeah, right. Good.
Yeah.
Good. It's a condo.
Yeah, because Doc Ock, like I know the word condo.
Yeah, right.
But I've almost never heard it called a condominium.
It's a full thing. Yeah,
so when Doc Ock says it a whole bunch, it always made me giggle because I'm like, he's such an old man.
Yeah, okay.
Calling it a condominium.
Condominium.
Like, yeah. Very dumb.
Prices for the accommodation and financing options have not been announced yet, and Disney has also yet to share when construction will begin or when residents might be able to move in. So it's like, we're doing all this sometime.
At some point.
Why just not? Get your money saving. Yeah. But, as I said, not the first attempt by Disney. In 1996, it opened the gates of Celebration, Florida, a master-planned community near Walt Disney World Resort. Also in 2011, it opened its luxury Golden Oak Resort in the same state, where prices for original homes started at $1.6 million.
Of course.
And that was in 2011.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's in probably American dollars.
Yes.
So really, it's like $3 million that house has begun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And probably more now.
Yeah. Because that was 2011.
4 or 5. Yeah.
So basically, that was useless because people couldn't afford houses.
Yep.
They were like, we'll live literally anywhere else but here.
And that was really not long after the GFC. So
no one had money.
A lot of people would have been struggling.
Totally.
GFC was like 09, 010.
Yeah.
09 to 2010.
Yep.
Kind of era. So yeah.
There's an O there.
Really struggling.
You can say 010.
There's an 010 with a 2 at the front, I guess.
Basically, right? And then the Celebration Florida one, the one from 1996, suffered all sorts of mundane and unmagical problems like leaks and mold, which Disney was not responsible for. It was the builders. So I'm sure they'll do a similar thing here where it's like, well, we designed the place, but it's on you guys to make it look good and work properly. It's not Disney that fucked up here. It's the workers we employed.
Yeah.
So I just think it's wild, and I wish it was more Disneyland.
Yes.
Like, it feels like it should be like a Star Wars, like the Star Wars resorts and stuff like that. But they're just building the town of tomorrow, which you can't afford.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it'd be cool if it was Disney themed, I guess. In some sort of way, but it sounds like it's just not.
Just expensive.
Yeah.
It's just for rich people.
I guess moving from, tearing down probably a whole bunch of land to build something to actually helping the environment.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah.
Sony have announced that it will plant a tree for anyone.
That it will plant a tree for anyone.
That's it. For anyone.
Okay.
Just for anyone.
That was it.
If you just ask them, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yep. For anyone who earns a very specific trophy in Horizon Forbidden West, which is very cool. as part of Sony's Plant and Play initiative, probably should be Play and Plant because the play comes first. And then
they're not going to plant a tree because you're just living.
Yeah. It will plant a tree on behalf of any player that unlocks the Reached the Daunt trophy in Horizon Forbidden West. I got that trophy at lunch today. It's the first trophy you get.
Yeah, cool.
Basically for finishing the tutorial.
Yeah, nice. Just play the game.
Yeah, play the game for like 2 hours.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
1 hour, 2 hours, and you'll get the trophy, and they'll go plant a tree for you.
Yeah, cool.
Which is sick. So it's like, it's not a challenge.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason you find a beautiful game challenging. They've said in the announcement for the release of Horizon Forbidden West, we want to do something to help nature with you. Just like how Aloy fights to save the Earth in the game, we can do something together to help our planet, which is very nice. So before March 25th of this year, if you get that achievement, they will plant the tree.
Yep.
So from like the release day of the game until that date, you have about 5 weeks.
Yeah, basically a full month. Yeah.
Yeah. So you pretty much just have a month to, finish the first part of the game.
It's like the smallest bit, like, dirty. Like, it's really here to sell the game.
Come play our game and we'll do something.
Play the game within 5 weeks and we'll plant a tree. Like, why can't you just keep planting trees? Why can't you stop planting trees?
Yeah.
Like, after 5 weeks, there's not going to be many new players playing it. So you can be logging 5 new trophies a week. Yeah. You got to plant a tree. It's good. It's a good initiative.
Yeah. No, I get you.
I would almost
why cut it off?
Yeah, it's like every $1 of a copy of Horizon Zero Dawn we put to a charity rather than like, we're only going to help the planet for these 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Then we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. But it is a nice initiative in its practice.
And the article did mention that there were other initiatives that they were part of, conservation of areas and nature and animals and stuff like that they were helping out groups in the UK and things like that. So they seem to be trying to do something
outside of it for sure,
which is also quite nice. But yeah, I'd be intrigued to see what they do in the future with this sort of stuff, whether they keep going.
Yeah, totally. Find other reasons to do it.
Yeah. Here we go.
God of War.
I was thinking God of War.
Put more snow across the world. Just fill the world with more snow.
All right.
And specifically where like global warming's hitting, they just fill it with more snow to kind of balance it all out.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I was trying to think of like a way to kind of have the axe.
Yeah. Give bow and arrows to small children.
Not what I thought, but yeah,
the less fortunate, give them some bow and arrows and see what happens.
That's pretty cool.
They might be Loki. You don't know.
Could be.
Got to give them an arrow. Yeah. There you go.
I have nothing to say. Go for it. Death Stranding.
Build some bridges around the world.
Yep.
Help with bridge building.
Bridge building helps nature.
Yeah, definitely. Putting bridges where they don't belong. That's good.
Although in Death Stranding, the bridges and the roads and stuff help power the cars. Like they have the technology in them to power the vehicles that you're on.
Yep.
So that sort of technology, if Sony put that
future.
Yeah. Like charge your Tesla as you drive it.
That's pretty good.
In the road. That'd be cool.
Death Stranding 2.
Gotcha.
Death Stranding. And this will combine our 2 second newses. Because this is all the news coming out of Paramount Plus that I thought was relevant to talk about. So first up, there's a new Transformers film called Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which will be released theatrically next year. It's very unclear. They group a lot of things together in this breakdown that makes it seem like they're related. And they don't give you much information on each thing, especially your Blue's Clues one. I don't know if you know what was attached to the tweet, but it's very funny because it's so unrelated to that.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
Sure.
But yes, so within one tweet, they announced Rise of the Beast, which will release in 2023, which seems like it might be Bumblebee related, like the Haley Steinfeld film.
Yeah, cool. I was going to ask if it was like a When you first brought it up, I thought maybe it was like an animated film or something, but
yeah. So this is the thing. It's so weird. So attached to that, it says start of a new trilogy of films, which then makes it seem like it's not related.
Yeah.
But then they also, within this tweet, announce a new animated series that's coming to Nickelodeon, which arrives this fall.
Okay.
And then also say in 2024, the franchise expands further with the CG animated Transformers theatrical film separate to Rise of the Beasts. So there's two films announced.
Okay.
One, they don't say what it is, and the other they say is all CG, which is why I think Rise of the Beast would be continuing that arc of like live action-y CG.
Yeah, because they haven't specifically specified that it's animated or CG.
It's almost like they're assuming knowledge of like, you expect another one of those, so you know what this is.
Yeah. Transformers to people nowadays is often
the
live
Michael
action.
Bay's.
Yeah.
So 2 new movies in a series of Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that was quite funny. Sonic 3 officially announced before Sonic 2 is even out. So they're hell-bent on that, as well as a Knuckles series, which is coming next year.
I heard about that one. That's kind of cool.
Elba, which means,
so it is Idris?
Yeah. He's voicing him as well.
Okay.
Which means in this tweet, the way they word it's really fun. They announced Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is what the like Mega Drive expansion was to Sonic 3. So when you put it in, it would say Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
That's cool.
So it's a tiny little, little reference to fans.
That's very cool.
Because Sonic 2 is wrong. It shouldn't have Knuckles in it. So this is almost like a reward of like, I know we fucked up the names.
Yeah.
Here's the version that you want.
Very cool.
So Sonic movie, Sonic series.
Yep.
The next installment in the Quiet Place universe is coming next year, directed by Michael Sarnowski. Who directed Pig, which is that Nicolas Cage film that's like real weird.
Yep.
So this is another one of those weird tweets. The next installment is coming next year, but then A Quiet Place Part 3 is coming in 2025. So they announced 2 things at the same time.
Oh.
One of them being the next installment.
Yeah.
And the other one being Quiet Place. It was a really weird wording for all these tweets.
Yeah, okay.
But basically, there's 2 films coming. One, it will be new characters.
Yeah.
And then I assume 3 will follow the
sequel
kids
to
and
the
stuff.
family. Yeah, okay, cool.
Which is, I wanted the other. I want that in next installment. That's what I wanted A Quiet Place 2 to be, was one of the other fires that you saw in that movie.
Yeah.
So it's good they're doing it. But,
that's cool.
So yeah, 2.
Did you see 2?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was all right. It's a bit more just like monster movie stuff.
Sure.
There's no tension in it.
Yeah.
I'd
like to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Once you kill John Krasinski, it's like, how do you top that as an ending?
But he was in the trailer almost, and they were like, "Dad."
Yeah. The fucking stupid trailer. But you like stupid stuff. So SpongeBob gets. This is another weird one.
That's a great transition because it's
3 new SpongeBob character-driven films.
3.
Yes, and character-driven.
Character-driven
was the wording in the tweet. 3 plus a new theatrical release, which is separate to the 3 movies we also announced. These tweets are fucking wild.
So, what would it mean by character-driven? Is it like a separate character will get?
It's like
an individual movie.
The Sandy movie, and the Patrick, I guess.
Because I guess Patrick's getting his own spin-off series.
Yeah. But then it's not him. It'll be Sandy.
It can't be him.
Characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they're doing that now. Everyone gets their own thing.
That's weird. Because is that? I guess that would kind of be what character-driven means.
It's character-focused.
Yeah,
totally.
Specifically character-focused. Because I guess like
it's always a dumb thing.
Everything is like character-driven because you need the characters to get through.
But yeah, usually it's like a dumb thing that happens. Whereas this might be a character study of Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, good.
Plus,
that'll be something.
Weird. Plus a theatrical release. So I think these 3 character-drivens are coming to Plus, but they're also doing a new movie for theaters.
Okay.
So 4 new SpongeBob movies.
That's insane.
New TMNT theatrical release coming from Seth Rogen in 2023.
Seth Rogen?
It'll work. He does The Boys. He made The Boys.
Yeah, right.
So he knows what he's doing with comic book related stuff.
Okay.
He was also involved with
He made The Boys TV series.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah. He's if you look up his IMDb, he is over everything that you don't realize he's in.
What the heck?
Yeah. He's doing amazing stuff with like comic book medium. He's almost like Kevin Smith, but not fucking annoying.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, but I like he's nice.
He seems alright. He seems alright.
I couldn't sit in a room with Kevin Smith. So a movie coming from Seth Rogen in 2023, as well as a series of villain-driven films.
Why are we driving so many
I know.
things?
There's so much drivenness. So they're villain films coming to Paramount Plus. So I assume like
Bebop TMNT.
Yes. So
Right.
a film of the Shredder, a film of the Bebop and Rocksteady.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. So
oh,
a
man.
movie plus some other stuff. This is Paramount Plus just trying to be big.
Yeah.
The
Blues Clues.
I'm
I'm excited to
I'll let
watch
you do
this.
this. Oh, yeah.
For sure. So Blues Clues is getting a brand new movie this year. And fans, probably the older people, us, are really excited because it's got Steve and Joe and Josh. It's got all three of them.
All three.
That's why it's freaking No Way Home.
Yeah.
They're all coming together.
It's happening.
They're all going to be hanging out with Blues Clues, which is just beautiful.
In the real world as well.
Yeah.
Which is the weirdest part about it.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact it's the three of them together. It's the fact the one shot that's out is like them on a dark New York City street.
There it is.
It's like, what is this?
It's so strange. It's great.
Like I if it didn't have the latest guy in it, I would love for it to be for us. But because he's in it, it's like it's gonna be driven for everyone.
Yeah,
but it's like
totally.
if it was the other two, I'm sure they could have played it a little bit more like dirty. But it'll be one for the family.
Yeah, it should be good fun. I'm sure. Like also having the adult one, there's going to be some adult jokes in there to keep the adults entertained and to push us through as well. But it is interesting that they've sort of flipped it because the whole thing is like the show is all green screened, so it's a real person in animated world. Yeah. But then this is
them in the real world.
Animated green screen, animated Blues Clue. Yeah, that's why I got confused. Yeah. It's color and something else. Yeah. In like New York, and it's so cool. Like it's clearly this is the reason why they've been hanging out.
Yeah, totally.
Like last year and stuff, why they were filming all that because they had to come together to make the film.
They were hanging out.
It's very cool.
I don't think it's attached to the one you've got here, but on the Paramount Plus tweet, someone was like, "It's a shame they didn't get Steve back." It's like I know he looks very different. But he is in the photo.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
To the point where I had to look it up. I'm like, oh, maybe they didn't. Yeah. I was like, maybe he's right. That's not Steve. Because if you've not seen him in a while, he's bald, he's got glasses, doesn't really look like he used to look. Because he's an old man.
He looks like a hipster now.
Yeah. So,
although he looks like a detective. Like a detective businessman. That makes sense. That's fair.
It makes sense.
You made a good look at me just then. It was a very good point, and you didn't have to say anything.
He's literally the only one that looks like a Blues Clues.
It's true, yeah.
But yeah, that one looks pretty good. Not attached to this tweet, but attached to when they announced this was, and this is again, I wish they'd separated these tweets a bit more. Yep. But it said everything that was there, plus ... a full-length Baby Shark movie coming in 2023. But it was attached to that photo and all the other information. So it was like, is Baby Shark in the film? But it's like,
no.
A full-length.
No.
What is that? Is it just the song for 90 minutes? Probably.
I hope not. That's insane.
Yeah.
Why?
It's also just not
Where is the story of Baby Shark?
It's also just not been around for a while.
No.
I would expect a Cocomelon films before this.
Yep. Absolutely.
Just this, not this, ever. Not even before this. This shouldn't be happening.
That's insane. Okay. I know we crapped all over Disney Plus's D Plus Day. Yeah. This sounds like a nightmare.
This is too much.
In comparison.
It's silly.
Because at least the Disney Plus stuff, even though it sucked and went on for too long and it wasn't all that interesting, at least it was clear. Yeah. You understood what they were doing. Mess. This just is confusing as hell.
What's your news?
I've got another one.
You do?
I forgot about that. A group of... This one's a mess.
It is.
This one's not great.
We're not recording after a work day again.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
A group of former CD Projekt Red folks... employees, freaking copy and paste from articles.
Thanks, Kotaku.
Awful. Have formed a new studio, Rebel Wolves, based in Warsaw, Poland. Obviously, for those who don't know or have forgotten, CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk, and The Witcher. Yeah, and all those things. What are you giggling at?
For those of you who don't know, Poland's a country.
Yes, it exists.
You've never heard the word Poland before? You're like, why is he talking about Poles?
That's it. Pole and road.
Yeah.
I'm sure pole and road exists in Poland. And thank you. It's the important news.
It is.
It's more interesting than this. Announcing plans to make their own AAA story-driven dark fantasy RPG. A lot of words.
Yeah.
Story-driven.
Story-driven.
Not character-driven. Not villain-driven.
We're still driving.
We're still driving, though.
Still driving.
Still driving hard. Dark fantasy RPG.
Yeah. Okay.
The founder, Konrad Tomaszewicz.
Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah, Konrad was the director of The Witcher 3 and secondary game director on Cyberpunk 2077.
Mm-hmm.
He's the CEO and like lead director of this company, obviously founded.
Yep.
The game that they have announced has one single piece of artwork, and people have
ripped it apart.
Guessed that it is. It's going to be vampire related.
We're doing
seems
that.
To be.
We're going towards that. We've left Zombie Station and we're going towards vampires now.
It seems to be, yeah. So it seems to be like a vampire kind of clinging on to at least like a dark figure kind of guy.
Yeah, okay.
Like clinging onto the side of a mountain, and he has like long fingernails and stuff. It's a little bit creepy. So it's not like, you can't see like teeth coming out and stuff like that. He just is thin and clinging onto the side of a mountain with long fingernails and stuff. And it's just like...
It's you if you don't cut your nails.
Probably, yeah. If I was just a complete mess.
Yeah.
More of a mess.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So it looks interesting, and a lot of these guys have been from The Witcher, so I'll go through the other stuff that are there, but...
It's so funny you say that, because I just saw Steve, Joe, and Josh are all part of it, and I'm like... Who the fuck are they?
Yeah, the famous
Steve, Joe, and Josh.
Stuff from
CD Projekt Red.
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. Steve, Joe, and Josh.
Steve, Joe, and Josh. So good. But a lot of them did a lot in The Witcher and that sort of universe and stuff, and Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So if they're leaving CD Projekt Red, which seems to just be a dumpster fire right now, or was, and they're trying to dig themselves back out of it.
The bullets into water in Cyberpunk do splashes now.
Mm-hmm.
So
they splash.
They splash.
That's pretty good.
Bullet splashable. So, there you go.
Game fixed.
Splash damage.
All right. So design director. Oh man, they're all going to be freaking Polish names. Daniel Sadowski.
Yeah.
Was a programmer on The Witcher 1, but he's now the design director.
Yeah. Right.
It seems like a weird choice of
moving over.
Direction of career, but it's all good. Narrative director and main writer Jacob Samalek. Sure. Yeah. A writer on The Witcher 3, principal writer on Cyberpunk 2077 and Thronebreaker, which is pretty good because the writing on Cyberpunk wasn't broken.
That wasn't the problem.
It's not the problem. And from what I know, that game is actually pretty good in story.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. Animation director Tamara Zawada.
Yeah.
That'll do. Animator across the Witcher series in general, and lead co-animator on Shadow Warrior 2. Mm-hmm. Don't know that game.
No.
But animations in The Witcher.
That's true. There is animation.
Pretty detailed. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Yep. So, sweet. And art director Bart Gowell.
Yeah, okay.
That'll do.
Nice.
Was the concept artist across the Witcher and Gwent games. So we're going to get a lot of
cards.
A lot of a lot of like Witcher-esque.
Yeah,
it does look very like Witcher-esque. It could almost
be
be within the universe, but just following a vampire instead.
Yeah, right.
So it looks cool. Mm-hmm. They've also announced they're making it in Unreal Engine 5 for PC and next-gen consoles. And the narrative director, who is the writer in The Witcher 3 and principal writer on Cyberpunk 2077 and Thronebreaker, has said that in order to create truly great games, this sentence is very cool and very exciting, but hopefully not hyping stuff up too much, but it almost definitely is. In order to create truly great games, we won't chase trends or numbers. Our goal is clearly defined: to create memorable games, tell moving stories, and evoke visceral emotions. It's ambitious, and I'm glad it is. Art needs ambition. I don't want to create another game. I want to work on titles people will remember.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty huge.
That's a good, and who said
cool
that?
goal.
Narrative director. That's a good statement from that man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was Jacob Sumalek.
You nailed it.
Let's just go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool that, it's going to be a different sort of experience to what we're used to in every other game.
Yeah. They're trying.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how they go, because that's also what, in a way, I feel that they were trying to do with Cyberpunk 2077, where it's like, this is a thing that you've never experienced before in your life.
And you never will.
You never will, because no one's going to play it.
They didn't chase trends so hard that they just didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's a shame. But I'm looking forward to seeing whatever this ends up being in probably like 5 years. If they're just starting to create their studio, they have a lot of building to do with their systems and stuff. It's going to take a long time to make a game as big as like your Witches and stuff like that, if that's what they're going for.
And there's only 3 people that work there: Steve, Joel, and Josh.
Yeah.
It's a very small company.
Yeah, and just a small dog.
And that is all the news in news.
We did it!
Oh boy. Milk Please is really cool.
Okay.
He's got lots of action figures. He's currently here trying to, right in this room. He's in my room stealing. Oh my God, Milk!
Milk, no!
Milk, no! Oh, he's already gone. He's trying to find Marvel Legends that he missed out on over the years. So he's going to all the different places that Melbourne has. Milk Please is great. Also Milk. Very on brand.
Milk.
Yeah.
Got the milk.
Milk.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
That's a cool that's a dedicated venture.
I mean, there's a lot of places here.
There's a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I kind of want to go back to that warehouse in Geelong, the pop culture one.
Yeah.
Just
to walk around.
Maybe spend some money.
Yeah, buy some statues.
Maybe this time. Yeah, we spent a lot of time there and spent none of the money.
Yeah, let's do it.
But yeah,
let's spend some money.
Set aside like a few hundred, and just
100. Sure,
I will set aside a few hundred.
We might need a bit more.
I will set aside a few hundred.
What are you buying with a few hundred?
Maybe those Zelda figures that were like 200 each.
Yeah, cool.
There's my few hundred done. That's it.
Sad. Speaking of sad, listen to this fucking horn.
What?
I'm on a roll. Welcome to Cues for You. It's not for you. It's from you. You fuckers. Give us your cues. You want to give us your cues?
Apparently
give us
you
your
gave
money. I don't know if you heard money. Patreon.com/each to their own. $3 will get you in a super secret Discord. We can send in some questions.
My
first one I'm going to grab from Dolphin Pants, which says, Dolphin we know is someone. It's not witch. It's not a witch.
Yeah.
He's a dolphin.
Yeah.
Dolphin says, Josh has skateboarding, so what action sport should Will take up?
It's interesting. Yeah. I don't know. What would you be into? Do you like rock climbing? For some reason, I just jumped to rock climbing.
I could do rock climbing.
I love rock climbing.
Yeah. It's good. And it's also not really reliant on you. Depending on, obviously, if you're doing it on an actual mountain, it's kind of on you. But if you're doing it in a facility, it's like old mate's really the biggest person.
Yeah, you have a lot of support in that. So you can... There's definitely less strain sort of thing because you can kind of as soon as you start pulling yourself up, they're also pulling.
Yeah, for sure.
So then that helps you go up as well, which I kind of love and hate because it's I like to have the challenge.
Yeah.
But then they're pulling so hard that it's
I'm okay. I'm all right with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's a good one. That or Wii Sports.
Wii Sports is pretty good. Yep.
I'm good with my arms. Switch Sports?
No, that's coming.
Looks shit. That looks so shit. There's 6 different fucking fighting games.
Oh, really?
They added 3 new modes, and all 3 of them are hit someone.
And none of them are boxing, are they?
No.
Put the OG in.
They put the stick one in there. They added the paddle that was in Wii Sports Resort. That you stood on a little...
I didn't play Resort.
So that's in there. I think there's fencing, and then there's something else. And it's that's all just the same thing.
Yeah.
And they've only kept bowling
back in.
I think they kept bowling, golf, and something else, and tennis.
Tennis.
But baseball was sick. Where'd that go?
Yeah, baseball was good.
Like, why get rid of anything?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Like, you combine, like, do what you've been doing with Mario Party.
Yeah.
And with
the best of kind of
Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh man, Mario Kart got a huge update recently. Jesus.
But keep the OGs.
Yeah.
Add in the Wii Resort stuff. Like, why are you holding anything back?
Either or, yeah.
There's not that much in there.
It's bizarre. I mean, yeah, maybe they'll do like they've done with Mario Kart, just constant. Here's a new one. But it's like,
you got to pay for it,
yeah,
bastards.
So basically, fuck Wii Sports Resort Switch, Dolphin. That's what I say.
That's it.
That's what your question was, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
BMAC asks, cheese?
You know what's crazy? Is I really thought the BMAX thing was going to be Big Milo. And it's become cheese.
Yeah.
That's what he's landed on. He's said cheese so much recently.
Yeah.
And he's just gone with cheese.
A weird choice. There is a weird choice.
Feta. If I could only have one. Feta or halloumi.
Okay. I'm not a halloumi man.
It's very salty. I'll have a very small amount.
Yeah, I don't mind the salt. It's the
squishy?
It's the squeaky texture on my teeth.
I love it.
That makes sounds in my head.
I love it.
Because of the squeak. I
love the squeak.
First time I ever had it was at my sister's wedding.
Yeah.
She had it and I was like, the hell is this? It's cheese. Started eating it. I'm like, my head.
I love how insane it is.
Oh man, it's bizarre.
I love the feeling of the squeak.
Nah, I don't dig it.
Yeah.
Mine would be like a brie or my ex-girlfriend throughout COVID when she'd come over, especially during winter, we would have a baked brie, which was delicious. Just chuck it in the oven for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or something. And it just bakes it up, a little bit crispy, but it melts the inside.
Yeah, nice.
And then you like cut it up and you put it on, your crackers and stuff, but it's all melted and it's warm. It's so good for summer. It's really good. We had that and we had
I wouldn't think summer, I'd think
winter.
Yeah.
Winter. Definitely winter.
Fuck that.
We had that and mulled wine. Which is great because that's also very winter. It's just just heated
warm.
Up like cinnamony sort of spiced wine.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good. So yeah.
Bit of brie.
Those two together. But to answer a longer question, I guess, can I jump to another BMAC one? The other BMAC one, there are so many games. How do you pick?
Just don't play any of them.
It's true. I'm
not keen for any of them, so I'm good.
I have a list.
Yeah.
That whenever there's games that come out, I add them to a list on my phone. I have 3 sections to that list. There is like to play, like stuff that I want to play in the future. And usually it's relatively ordered of like the top ones are the ones that I want to get to next. There is a list of games I'm currently playing because at any one time I'm often playing a few. Like ones for streams and stuff like that. There's usually a few in the list. Or ones I've played before in streams that I do want to go back to and continue playing and finishing. And ones that are coming out and have like a date attached to those as well. So I know what games I particularly want. So yeah, it can sometimes be hard to pick.
And you like finishing games.
I love finishing games.
That's the real problem.
Yeah.
It's not like how do you pick a game? It's how do you stop playing a game?
Yes, there's a lot that I miss. Because I'm playing something else and then
to fruition.
Something else has come out already. Which I'll talk about after cues from you. Finished Metroid just in time. Too long, but just in time.
What a moment.
So that's sort of how I pick, I guess. It's kind of when I finish a game, depending on how much time between the next game that's coming out, I might be able to pick a game and sort of pick something that I think I can finish within that time. Maybe look up like how long to beat. And try and time and be like, I think I've got enough time to finish this before the next big game comes out. Generally, if I finish a game and there's another game coming out in like 2 days, probably won't play anything. That's generally when I'd like actually watch a TV show for a couple of days.
Fill it out.
Just to get myself to that point. And then probably just play the new thing. And so some games get left behind, but they're still on the list in case there is gap. For stuff.
In case there is gap.
In case there's gap. yeah, that's kind of how I do it. There's a lot of games that I do miss. Like I did miss Metroid Dread last year.
You did?
Basically, because there was too much other stuff happening, and then we're going to Sydney, so I couldn't finish that before my Game of the Year stuff.
And there's no games that have come out this year, so you got time to play.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot until
not
now.
really. And I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't pick. I'm like, I'll play that for now and I'll move on.
There's less that you're interested in year to year.
Yeah.
So it's less of an issue.
Yeah.
And you just jump in on whatever.
This year has started terribly for me. There's just nothing I want to play.
Playing a lot of VR though, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah. Maybe. A lot of the same game. It's not my thing, but I will. I will, just for you.
Just a little bit.
And the final question comes to us also from BMAC. Is there a film or TV show that hits you in the feels every time you watch it?
Ooh.
I feel like it's not really, doesn't make me cry, but Midnight in Paris is always good.
Okay.
I've watched that film maybe 20 times.
Saw it for the first time last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's one of my favorite films.
Again, another watch with the ex-girlfriend during lockdown, during winter.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably eating baked brie. Yep.
Full of brie.
Yep.
Yeah, that film, I don't think it really particularly hits me in the feels, but you've put TV show. I would say like Matt Smith's first episode, it's everything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the moment he puts on the suit, you're just like, oh shit, that's right. This is the coolest thing ever.
Nice.
So that and maybe one more. I mean, I don't really get emotional in films or anything. Can't think of anything that's hit me. You come up with something because you cry all the time.
I do. I'm already struggling with this. So I'd probably jump to like obvious ones like No Way Home hit me a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
And La La Land.
La
La Land, like I know the ending.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the ending.
No, you're not.
But it still hits me. And it's like it still gets to me.
So distant from La La Land because, like I've said, I've never watched it at home. I watched it 15 times in the movies, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's
in a
crazy.
home setting.
That's nuts.
So I don't really remember how I physically or emotionally reacted to.
I think I literally have cried in an episode of The Simpsons.
Of course.
Probably like 20 years after that episode came out.
Yeah,
as well.
right.
Like
you just watched it.
It's since I've started breaking down in movies.
Yeah.
And TV shows and stuff. Since things have started to hit me more. Potentially one that you've actually seen, but yeah, there was a point in my life where I had a girlfriend that just completely broke me.
That's most of your life.
Yep, pretty much. One in particular.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I cry in everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, since then, I watched the episode where Bart steals a video game from a shop at Christmas.
Yeah. What in that?
At the end, when they're like, when he and Marge like make up or whatever.
Sure.
Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But something about watching that again, like 4 or 5 years ago, it got me. I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I know that, like, I've watched this episode hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Something about that just hit me.
That's so odd.
Again, just very light. I was going to say hit me like a ton of bricks, but it didn't. It was just like
ton of feathers.
It was a little slap. Ton of bricks, ton of feathers, same amount.
Same amount.
Maybe just a little softer, when it hits you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I'm trying to go for it. I'm trying to find something because I feel like I teared up in something recently.
Trying to think of movies that you have then recommended to me that.
Yeah, well, I've gone through my letterbox and I'm like, it's none of these.
Yeah, weird. Huh.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But there you go. You already knew that I wasn't the emotional one, B-Mac. But thank you. Let me say thank you first, you sad trombone. Thank you for all your questions. If you want to submit them, there they go.
Patreon.com/each to their own will get you into the super secret Discord where you can ask a question. It is in the
hashtag Ask
Edo page. That's the one.
You know, it feels like this is the longest one.
It's still a mess.
It's not. This is like considerably shorter than the past 2 ones we've recorded.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that, but I think because it's been so messy.
Feels fucking long.
It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm sure the edit will be great. Future will enjoy.
Good stuff.
This is actually probably one of the biggest rec segments I've ever had.
Interesting.
I
don't know if I have a rec, but I'm kind of.
This is what it is. It's what we've done.
It's
not really rec.
It's just talking about what we've been doing.
So TV and film is just, it's so huge.
Yeah.
There's so many things to talk about. Number one, obviously, Uncharted, which we both saw. We also saw with Ben.
We did.
It's delightful.
It is.
It's the perfect version of an Uncharted film.
Everyone's wrong.
Yeah. Just go see the movie. I've literally seen so many tweets that's just like, huh, yeah, that was good. It's like everyone's just like,
yeah.
It's just those initial critic reviews that were just bombing it.
Yeah.
It was always going to happen. But it was a great movie.
Yes.
Kind of want to write something about it. Maybe like a written video or something at some point. Doesn't deserve a podcast, but I want to do something about it.
We don't do those anymore anyway.
Well, we're coming back to YouTube, remember?
That's true. We're coming back to YouTube, baby!
Well, speaking of, we watched the first 4 or 5 episodes of the Cuphead show last night. It's weird.
It's certainly weird.
It feels like it's a few steps away from being good. Even the animation it's like you say, it's very like of the right style. It's, if you don't know Cuphead, the video game, it's all hand drawn.
Yeah.
This is all digital, so it's trying to do what that game, the game sort of did. And it kind of works, but it feels modern. They move in ways that I wish they didn't. For what the Cuphead games kind of were going for.
Okay. Yeah. But like artistically though, it seems to really be hitting the beats of the era it's trying to
Totally. There's a lot of gags in it that are perfectly that.
Yeah. So it's very like early kind of not Disney, but like Looney Tunes sort of stuff.
For sure.
And you like early Betty Boops and all that sort of animation. Yeah, Felix the Cat.
Yeah.
Along with some more modern, like Ren and Stimpy, creepy, weird,
for sure,
like twisted vibes.
Yeah, which I feel like it toes the line between those too much.
Okay,
like I want it to be one or the other.
Yeah,
and in staying in the middle, it's the thing where I'm like, it doesn't feel like it's for kids, but it also doesn't feel for adults. None of the jokes work perfectly because it's like they're tiptoeing on both sides of being an adult show and being for kids. I would like it to be better, but I also wasn't expecting much from it. So
yeah, a lot of it from us last night was more of like a
or what the fuck? Why?
Yeah. Or manhandle.
Yeah. There is
that line's great.
Yeah, that line was good. There is only one.
It's a great episode.
Was that? No, that wasn't the same. The episode following that, which is the King Dice episode, has the best the best line of the whole series, which I don't want to spoil. The line Cuphead says. He says, That is the only joke I've been like outright. That is gold.
It's very good,
and it's because all the other jokes that are funny are like, oh yeah, that's like animation 101.
Yeah, it's a gag.
Whereas that is like a very well written joke that I kind of haven't heard before.
Yeah.
So, if anything, watch it for episode 5 because that whole episode's pretty good as well.
Yeah. And they're 15 minutes each.
Yeah.
So it's like we almost kind of accidentally watched half the series.
Totally, we were one off.
Just happened.
One off, yeah. But that's a Cuphead show. You have it because you have Netflix or whatever the fuck I'm supposed to say.
That's it. You've got it.
Something you don't have because it's not available to watch anywhere here, but somehow some people do. Peacemaker wrapped up last week, and I'll say what I said on the Tweety. I'm very glad I kept watching it because I was wrong. It was really fun.
That's great.
Especially the finale. The finale is like everything I hated, suddenly I was okay with. I kept hearing the things that I know in the first 3 episodes. I was like, fuck, this show is so bad. And it was like just this weird washover of like, oh, that's quite cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Literally, the episode begins with John Cena and one of the other characters abruptly stopping someone from talking by making fart noises. It's a 5-minute scene.
Yeah.
And I would have fucking hated that 7 weeks ago. But for some reason, I was like, that's funny. It's just like, it's less that I've warmed to the humor and more I've warmed to the characters.
Sure.
So I love them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, as much as this is not the humor I enjoy, I like you.
Yeah.
And I like that you're making these funny bits.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's good. And it's a fulfilling series as well. It lands its finale in a way that's great. Literally no Disney Plus show has done.
And it's all directed by Gunn, right?
All directed by James Gunn. Which, speaking of, congratulations to James Gunn and Jennifer Holland for getting married at some point in the foreseeable future. James Gunn proposed to her.
Yeah, right.
Today.
Congrats.
Basically. So congrats on
one of our biggest listeners.
Yeah.
Biggest listeners.
They're large listeners.
Yeah, I guess.
They're a big fan of the central lobe or whatever the fuck. That's Peacemaker. I watched a film called Kimmy, which was directed by Steven Soderbergh or Haim, one of the two. Stars...
Who's that guy? What's he done before?
He's kind of a wanky filmmaker.
Great,
It's
cool.
one of those ones
Nice.
because he's got one of those names.
So he makes porn.
Yeah, lots of wanky.
Okay, cool.
This starred Zoe Kravitz, so it's pretty close to the Batman and stuff like that.
Yep.
It is the first movie I've watched with COVID at the center of it. And it works because it's not about COVID.
Right.
And it's also set now. So it is someone post-COVID. The kind of premise is like there's an AI that is kind of rolling out across the world, and she works with the AI as the person that kind of listens to audio bites and finds any bugs in the, like if someone said, show me Google, and it's like, show them a different website. She's like, oh, okay, there we go. I've reported that and sent it somewhere.
Sure. Yeah, okay, cool.
She's very much isolated in that regard. And this thing rolled out during COVID, so she had been working from home for all this time. And something happens with the AI that she needs to report to the police, and like it gets creepy and dark, and she needs to leave the house.
Cool.
And it's like, it's not that, it's like, it is a problem that people had prior to COVID, but by setting it in it, it becomes more relatable. Like for someone that doesn't have like anxiety to that degree, now this is a character that has social anxiety driven by the fact that she was stuck in home and like the world that now exists, which I have. Like there's definitely been times where I'm like, I don't want to go outside. That's fucked. And so like it's really interesting that I can now relate to a character that I probably couldn't prior.
Yeah, cool.
And at the same time, it's not like, oh God, I hate hearing about COVID, because it never says the word COVID.
Yeah.
She just reaches for a mask and goes to go outside, and she can't. That's to the extent of
it's
like
a film?
COVID. Yeah. It's 90 minutes long. Really good.
Where is that?
Somewhere. And then the other thing I watched on Friday night while you and Ben were haloing was The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, which is the Kristen Bell murder mystery thing. Which is intending to parody how many films are like the woman in the window, the girl in the train. That's what it's going for.
Cool.
It's a murder mystery with her as like a middle-aged mum. The aim is for it to be a parody. It doesn't do enough to be a parody, and so you get intrigued into the murder mystery that's going on, and then it does like a silly murder mystery thing, and I'm like, oh fuck, but I was enjoying this.
Yeah. You were enjoying the murder mystery,
the actual mystery, because it's a really good one.
But then they chuck in
something stupid,
comedy, fart noises.
Like this isn't really a spoiler. I think it happens quite late into. If you don't want to hear it, fair dues. But it's really not something that is to the structure of the show.
Skip forward 30 seconds.
Yeah, someone in Kristen Bell's life dies, and that's kind of one of the things that plagues her. And the kind of setup is they've gone to a prison and they were in the room with a murderer, and it's like, this all sounds like one of those murder mystery things, and it's like, that's my traumatic past. But the way the person dies is that the murderer is a cannibal, and so repeatedly people say, oh, I'm so sorry when that person died by being eaten by this man, and they say it seriously as a joke of like, when a normal one would be like, oh, when your friend died in a car accident. Yeah. But they say when your friend, whatever person it is eaten by this man, whose name's like Killer Kane or something. Yeah. So it's even that's a joke. But it's like, I am invested in a very real world with very real problems. This person, apart from that situation, is very real to me. Yeah. And then you make a joke about and it's like, it didn't know what it wanted to do.
That's weird.
Because by the final episode, I was like, fuck, how does this all resolve and stuff like that? And it ends well. Okay. It forgets to be a parody show.
That's weird.
For about, I would say 90% of the show. So if you want to check that out, it's on Netflix. You probably have it. And then the last thing I've been watching is a whole heap of stuff. I found a YouTube channel called Short of the Week. And it's basically every week they post a short film from somewhere in the world. And they're all really, really good. It's on a YouTube channel. So yeah, just search Short of the Week. I've watched 20 of them in the past 2 days because they're all like between 7 and 20 minutes long. Yeah. The ones I would recommend is Sister, which is like a hand animated cotton doll thing from, I think, Japan or China. Cool. And it has a twist that was fucked up. Garden Party, which is a bunch of frogs, just kind of beautifully CGI frogs that are unraveling a story based on where they are. But it's like, they don't talk, they're just frogs. They're going about the day, but you watch a story that's already happened. Yeah. And we work out the story without being told it. Okay. Which is really good. And then the third one is Ad Man, and it is a the life of a man told through infomercials. And it is so fucking clever.
Cool.
It is so, like, it's like watching, like, the back pocket ads.
Yeah.
If you imagine, like, all of them back to back told a story of one man's life. It's very, very clever. But yeah, check out Short of the Week. Short of the Week.
Good motorbike.
Let's get a little bit of
Motorbike.
What have you been doing, Joshua?
I've been playing games, of course. That's all I do. It's all I ever do. Last week I started my new job. My Yep.
Give that one another go.
Last week I started my new job.
You did?
So working on Wayward Strand, which is very cool. Very excited about it. Everyone check it out. Go jump on wherever you
wish list it.
Yeah, go wish list it and stuff. Please. Help it out.
Yeah. Buy cricket if you want.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But I finally finished Metro Dread. Where was there at the time?
I was.
You were sitting. You didn't sit for much of it. I think because you didn't want to distract me. Yeah. But then so I had probably 4 sessions just on the final boss. Each of the initial 3 sessions was over an hour, definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Probably 1 to 2 hours just trying to defeat the final boss.
Yep.
It sucked. It
looked terrible.
It was insane. It was very, very hard. Like after a bunch of attempts, I could consistently beat the first phase, which seemed impossible to start with, but then you just sort of work it out and then you get to the second phase and then that seems impossible. And then I was talking to Ben about it and he's like, yeah, it's something about the third phase. And I was like, third phase? No, second phase is already impossible. So yeah, then I was just, eventually after maybe the third, I think in my third set of sessions, I was able to consistently do the second phase. And then the third phase was just F. It was just a nightmare. I tried a whole bunch of times, couldn't do it. And then I woke up on Saturday morning. This was, Will and I went out that night, so couldn't play that or Horizon Forbidden West.
On the Friday night.
Night. So woke up on Saturday and I'm like, just freaking finish it. I'm just going to have to finish it. It's the final boss. I've got to finish it before I move on to the next game. Otherwise, I'll never come back.
Yep.
I'll never finish it. So I went back and first go Saturday morning, just did it straight out of the gate.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
Literally minutes before Benjamin walked in the door. It would have been great if he was there.
Yeah, because we were recording a comic cast.
Yeah.
And I basically played. Ben was like, we'd scheduled for 11.
Yeah.
And he said, you're going to be an hour late. So I'm like, all right, this is my time. This is my hour. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Jumped in and I just tried some stuff that I hadn't tried previously. Just using some abilities that I hadn't used much in this boss fight. And it just worked. It just worked, and it ended up actually being quite simple in that third phase.
Yep.
Which was good. So, yeah, first go, just got to the end, finished the game. My final time. So, the time on How Long to Beat.
Yeah.
It's 8.5 hours. This playthrough was 4. Completionist is 13, which I've definitely not done.
Confused, yeah.
Yeah. But Completionist is getting all of the power-ups and unlocking everything and whatever. Mine was 17.5 hours, I think. Which is longer than Completionist, and I didn't even get 50% of the upgrades.
Yeah. It was the worst thing when you asked Ben how long he played for.
Yeah, Ben was like...
like 7.
Like 7, yeah. Like, what? Insane. Just ridiculous.
But you did finish it.
But I freaking finished it. And it's probably one of the hardest games I've ever finished. That was probably the biggest gaming challenge that I've ever faced.
Yep.
I've never played a Souls game.
Yep.
Some of these bosses felt like what I would imagine bosses in Souls games to
be
like.
The concentration and like memorization
and
patterns
learning the patterns in that sort of way. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with that. Like the boss fights seem brutally hard because you need to dodge at the right times and learn all of the ways that they try and attack you and stuff. And then there's a bunch of just bullet hell sections as well, which is another type of game that I don't play.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wild. I'm so glad that I'm back to like slow, dry, Forbidden West. Like it's gonna be great.
Have you gotten to the beach yet? Speaking of dry?
No.
Apparently that's like 9 hours in.
It's pretty far in because my mate from work had played a whole bunch over the weekend. Didn't have much to do, so he played many hours, well beyond where I am currently up to. And he said he's not up to that yet either. Yeah. So we get there eventually.
It's a big old vertical slice.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So it's a long intro. I'm not at the West yet. I think I'm still on my way. It's just sort of like building characters and building the I guess like the story and what the point of what you're doing is before it opens.
Yeah, cool.
It's very cool. So yeah, it's just I'm just looking forward to it. So looking forward to just sitting down and playing it. But no, I have 2 jobs, so I can't.
You can't do it. Can't do it.
It's terrible timing. But it's all right. It's all right. We'll get there.
That's everything that we've been looking at.
It's all the things.
It's all the things. If you want to look at things coming up on the ETTOs across the sphere, that figures is on Wednesday night once again. And if you miss it, it'll be up on the YouTube channel either that night or on Thursday.
Yep.
Also on Thursday is the comic cast for Batman Ego. And the next comic cast, if you want to be on top of it already, will be Moon Knight issues 1 to 4 from 1980.
Yes.
Which is basically the first proper Moon Knight comic.
Yeah.
And this is also coming out on Tuesday, which means Monday's already happened. So if you're looking forward to a Monday live stream, it's not happening. 28th of February is just for the toes. It's a big old feet meet. And if you want to be part of that feet meet, you need to go to patreon.com/each to their own. $3, we get into our secret Discord wallet.
Nice.
And you'll be able to join
Fortnite one, isn't it? We're doing a bunch of Fortnite,
Fortnite
and
Jackbox. Something drawing based, but it's not
like
Quiplash.
A Gartic phone?
Gartic phone.
Yeah, cool.
A bit of that as well. So if you want to be a part of that, you need to be a part of the toes. And you have to go to patreon.com/each their own.
You do. And I'm just going to quickly plug
Patreon.
My own thing quickly. My other YouTube channel project thing is back. The stream tapes. First video of the year since like June or July. So we played through A Short Hike. We did it in 4 videos. It's about 2 hours. I guess the whole set of videos. So first episode is up now. The stream tapes. Just check it out on YouTube.
You can actually YouTube that one.
Yeah, you will actually find it, and it's basically just a podcast while we're playing a game.
Yeah,
because we're just chatting. We chat about life. We chat about the game. We're 2 game developers. It's my friend Chitty from my old job, and I just looking at games that we missed, like older games, not generally new games that are like just coming out, but sort of older stuff, and looking at that from a game developer point of view, comparing it to we look at the Half-Life games and then compare it to newer games, both like kind of graphically and like the design choices that they made, because it's one of the first like story-driven shooter games. But A Short Hike, it's great. Very, very cute little game, very fun. And yeah, there'll be a video, hopefully, maybe every week. Maybe. If I
Is there one this week?
I was going to edit it at some point in the next couple of days. Maybe for Wednesday. It'll be a Wednesday drop.
There you go.
But keep an eye out. Go give that a subscribe and come hang out and suggest other old games, preferably at this point, like shorter games, even like newish indie games that might have been from 5 years ago or something. Because we want to kind of do like short series so that we can keep up with it. Everything, I guess. I was getting confused what you're doing with your hands, but come hang out. Come hang out.
I'm not touching Josh, by the way. That wasn't a thing. It was just I was near him.
He's getting all handsy, guys.
Handsy. I gotta stop being handsy because it's the end of the podcast.
It's the end.
We'll see you. We'll see you all next Tuesday.
Have you had your catch up today?
Oh, you're at the end, so probably.